Alright there guys, and welcome to a brand new mini-series that I'm going to be doing on the channel for the next 3 weeks or so. These videos will be uploaded every single Sunday. Well, I say that the next 3 Sundays, so this Sunday, which is today, next Sunday, and then the one after that. As this is going to be a kind of review sort of series, but more an analysis and my thoughts on, as you can see from the title, this is what I call the rise, the fall, and rise back up of Attack on Titan. As you guys may know, Attack on Titan Season 4 will start airing around autumn or fall, if you want to use that term, this year. It has not been confirmed of any postponing due to the coronavirus so far. So Attack on Titan Season 4 is still set for a autumn/fall 2020 release, meaning it will finish sometime in early 2021. Which means the series will have spanned across 8 years from 2013 to 2021. And in this mini-series, we are going to be going over all 3 seasons, but we will only be covering 1 season per video. Obviously, that means this video is Season 1, next week's video will be Season 2, and the week after's video will be the 3rd and final part, which will be Season 3. So let us talk about Season 1. Because Attack on Titan is known nowadays as a modern classic. But did it start off in a way that it could be called a modern classic from its very beginning? Let's get into it. One of the very first scenes of the whole season was Eren, the main character, with his 2 best friends, Armin and Mikasa, witnessing a giant titan, a giant, flesh, just, I guess, only simply naked flesh, I guess. A naked fleshed titan, giant red titan, which we know as the Colossal Titan, which was actually standing over Wall Maria. No other Titan was tall enough, was even close to being tall enough to even get even a quarter of the way up the wall in terms of its size. And yet the Colossal Titan's head is actually above it. And it breaks through Wall Maria, and which helps the other Titans start flooding in. And Eren's mother is trampled by a building, and she can't get out. And a female Titan walks up to her and eats her right in front of Eren, where he is taken away along with Mikasa to safety. So we have an incredibly strong start to the series. The main character's mother has died in a pretty gruesome fashion. And just like that, humanity has gone from being pretty safe to in serious danger of going extinct. So, the village that Eren lives in has had to set up a military force called the Scout Regiment, which Eren, Armin, and Mikasa, and pretty much almost every single member of the village, not all of them, but the majority of them, join it. So we've got our military force, and we've got leaders, and we've got possibly a way to start planning on how they can fight back against the Titans. Normally usually in shonen anime, we have the main character receiving a power-up, something that increases their strength greatly to give them a fighting chance against whoever or whatever, in this case, their opponents are. So in a certain mission, when Eren was trying to save Armin, where Armin was almost eaten by a Titan, Eren actually saves Armin, but gets his leg bitten off in the process. And almost gets eaten. But not quite. But the more of the Titans start rolling in again. And one of them is about to trample Mikasa. But then, out of nowhere, it gets punched really hard in the face by another Titan. And it was an incredible moment when we first saw that Titan was revealed to be Eren. So that was our mate. So we have now established what our main character's special ability is. Being able to transform into the very thing he's trying to destroy. But Eren has more conscious thinking in Titan form than the other Titans do. He can actually hear other people that are around. He may not be able to talk to them in Titan form, but he can still hear them and understand them, so he can still be used put in as a useful asset to the Scout Regiment in order to fight the Titans and push them back. And then we're revealed to our strongest human female character, Annie. And she is a very, very cold character. She doesn't really care about anyone else. She's only really in it for herself. But she realises that if she's in order to survive, she has to work with other people. But there was always some mystery and suspicion around her. She never truly acted normal like the rest of them. Even if that did include Eren getting himself into fights, getting himself absolutely kicked to shit by Captain Levi, aka every single female watcher of Attack on Titan's husbando. Because for some reason everyone just loves Captain Levi. I mean, yeah, he's a badass. And he can even clean your windows. Some of you will hopefully will get that meme. But Annie was always... She didn't really talk to anyone. She was always in the shadows of other people. She never really wanted to be in the spotlight when it came to the Scout Regiment. And later on, we learn how Eren is able to transform into a Titan. Or at least, we don't learn how it came about yet, but we learn how Eren can, not completely at will, but what he has to do in order to transform back into his Titan form. What he has to do is he has to bite his thumb really, really hard. Because that is the trigger that sets the transformation off to turn him from his human form into a Titan form, where he is inside of the Titan and he still controls his Titan form, but his human body is completely still inside of the Titan. As his mind is no longer inside his human body for this, it's inside his Titan body in order for it to work. But then we learn, well, not really learn, we get to see firsthand that Eren is not the only person that can transform into a Titan at will, because Annie has a ring on her index finger, which she brushes her thumb across really hard, which would be painful, and a tiny bit of blood comes out, and that sets another trigger in motion, and Annie transforms into a Titan as well, meaning Eren is not the only person who can make himself transform into a Titan. Annie can do it as well. So we close out the first season with Eren and Annie having a fist fight. That's right. We've had, because the majority of the time we've had the Scout Regiment using swords, grappling hooks, and gas to push themselves through the air whenever they're fighting the Titans, with the back of the neck being a Titan's number one weak spot, where if you slice the back of their neck, they're down. One hit, that's all it takes, and it's all over. The Titan goes down straight away. That, of course, wasn't learned till later on, so they didn't know to do that to begin with. The characters that we were given more screen time and attention for season 1, we had Connie, Hanji, Sasha, Levi, and Commander Erwin, who is the full leader, the main leader of the Scout Regiment. And he's the one that controls the military police, whose job is to try and keep everyone safe within the village. So Eren and Annie go into their fist fight with it being very, very even to begin with, but as time goes on, Annie starts gaining the upper hand. So that infuriates Mikasa, and she goes to try and help. She doesn't succeed quite that well, but that gives Eren enough anger and power to start gaining the upper hand on Annie. He starts forcefully beating her down. Then she tries to climb the wall and escape the village. But Mikasa puts pay to that by slicing off all of her fingers while she's trying to climb up the wall. So then Annie falls to the ground. Her Titan form has been killed off for now, because people who can achieve their Titan forms can't keep them, don't have them permanent. When their form is killed off, they have to be extracted from their own Titan body. And at first, when Eren was first seen by the majority of the village in his Titan form, when he finally got extracted for the first time outside of his Titan body, after transforming for the first time, the majority of the village wanted Eren dead because he was a Titan. But because our main man Armin Artler is so convincing with his speeches that he was able to make Eren believable to the whole village as someone that could be useful rather than a problem. So they accepted Eren, and then the rest of the stuff I've just mentioned transpired. Then Annie was put in this frozen prison, really. Her body she was put in this giant frozen ice cube. Although I guess it wasn't a cube, it was more like a very, very small iceberg that she was trapped inside of and put into a prison, put behind prison bars so she couldn't escape. And that was where season 1 of Attack on Titan ended. So we had an incredible opening episode with the main character's mom being very brutally murdered. And there's actually an incredibly cool detail about that specific moment, but I can't talk about it until we get to season 3, because that's when this detail was actually revealed to us. So you'll have to wait two more weeks before we get to that. We had the main character's special ability being becoming the very thing he's trying to destroy, the Titans. We were introduced to all the major characters and all the important side characters. We were introduced to the main antagonist of the first season, I guess, Annie, who also could become a Titan. We had some incredible moments in the first season of the Scout Regiment just slicing down the Titans like it was nothing. Oh, and just before we finish off, we were also introduced to a brand new Titan, the Armoured Titan, who is much, much stronger than regular Titans. He's slightly shorter than the Colossal Titan, and the whole the back of the neck thing doesn't work on him. So he becomes more important because the Scout Regiment and everyone has to figure out a way to take down the Armoured Titan, because he can't be killed the way the regular Titans can. And then we have an incredible fight between Eren and Annie right at the end of the season. Annie trying to escape. Mikasa's like, nope. And then she's enclosed in an ice prison. And then we didn't see the show return for another 4 years. It wasn't until 2017 that Attack on Titan made its return. And Attack on Titan Season 2 is what we will be talking about this time next week. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of this brand new mini-series. I hope it does well. Gives you guys more thoughts on what I think of Attack on Titan, considering I made a video about it at the very beginning of 2019 called "Is Attack on Titan Really That Good?" where I said it was. And I also have not put Attack on Titan in my top 10 anime list, have I? Because in my opinion, I don't believe it is top 10 material for me. But if I did a top 20 anime list, it would be in there. But that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on my social medias. And until next time, guys, well, I guess until the next episode of this series, which will be going up 1 week from today, catch you later.